Hello everyone, this is my first review of 2012. I'm going to start with something I actually completed end of last year, but I did not got the time to actually review it, and it is the LBX Emperor from the Dimeboard Shinki line. So, first of all, that is a beautiful, beautiful box art. Actually, worth the money just for the box art, really. So I'm going to keep this box. It's particularly interesting for me because he is actually, I think it's not focusing. It is not focusing. Okay. It is one of the first LBX kits that I caught my eye on and found it extremely interesting. It looks brilliant. It's one of the humanoid shape frame. In fact, according to here, the frame type is known as a knight frame, and it's also got a fictional construction developer called the Kamiya Heavy Industry. It is sold for 1,000 yen, and it is a little bit of a sideline that Bandai is trying. So before I'm done with the box, I think some people might have pointed out already on other review on LBX is that on the back of the box, for both the inside, the top and the bottom box, is a set of sorry. Let's see. Yeah, that's how it works. It's basically is a board game. The board game is slightly confusing as to how to do it, but I've been trying to read through the instruction that is printed on the inside of the box. It looks interesting, and you're supposed to use two boxes to actually play. You have to use your own box with your own kit against another person with their own kit. So if I manage to figure it out how it actually works, I might make another video about it. So that's it about the box. The user manual again is it's pretty similar to how a normal SD kit works. That you have colorful illustration as well as comic. It has color illustration for all of the assembly. The assembly method is more modular in the sense that it's separated between different components with a illustration of the part of the frame that it requires to actually build it. In fact, all of the trees are designed to be taken apart so that when you start with 3 plates, it's actually broken down into loads of different small plates. Each plate is dedicated to a particular part of the kit. So it's a refreshing way to build it. And again, like all of the modern SD kit is using the touch gate system, so you don't need any sort of a tool to actually take the parts out. The kit does come with a lot of stickers. As you can see, I haven't actually used all of them, but there are quite a lot of stickers for detailing. So the kit really does intend for you to build it without the need of any paint. But of course, there are details missing, which means that it will look much better if you actually paint the kit anyway. Let's talk about the kit itself. The LBX Emperor. Let's see if I could actually get a better shot of him. So as you can see, the LBX Emperor is mainly purple and purple, light grey, and dark and black, almost black. It says really dark grey, but there are also several parts of red, as well as you can see, there's a clear blue part as well. So this kit is actually painted, and some of the stickers are also used as well to actually detail him up. But overall, it looks pretty good. There are only small bits and pieces like here where the red is applied, and the top where the red are actually painted in. And there are several elements of purple on him that is actually painted on, but almost 90% of it are the actual plastics. Oh, and those tiny little grey around each of the skirt red bit, those are actually painted on as well. But that is really easy to paint, because the red bits are actually parts pushed in from the inside. So this kit is pretty much hold together with polycaps, very interesting polycaps, some of which I've never seen before from a Bandai kit, which add together gives it quite a lot of articulation point. Not all of them are perfect because the kit itself is a bit heavy. The Emperor design means that it's actually quite heavy and quite bulky in terms of the armors. But overall, it's got pretty good articulation. So as normal, there's a waist joint. The skirt, as you see, is actually on the ball joint, so it actually go in and out, rotate, and so is the two side skirt, not the back. So the leg is on, the hip is on the ball joint, so it does go forward but the front skirt does block it, so it can't go forward too much. And because the back skirt doesn't move, it can't go back a lot either. But it can go sideways pretty well, because the side skirt does move aside. This whole grey bit is actually two giant polycap, which combines together to be part of the knee, and allows you to bend it to about 75-80 degrees. Not too bad. The feet is on the ball joint on top, so you can wiggle around and rotate. And there is a ball joint that is actually pointing that way, which allows the feet to wiggle back and forth like that, as well as a bit of wiggle around as well. So add together, they can go sideways, and it can bend forward and bend backward a little bit. There is a waist joint, so you can rotate, as I mentioned before. Okay, both arm and forth. That's one thing that is has anyone who buy LBX kit have to be aware. The shoulder is actually a ball joint, but it's not actually click in. It's actually just push in. So if you pinch the kit, the friction will be a lot, and you will have a problem because these are not actually hard plastic. They're not hard sturdy plastic. They're actually the standard soft polycaps material you usually see. So if they're actually really stiff, when you twist it, it will actually stretch and actually deform it. And if you have messed around with polycaps before, you will know that if you bend it too much, it will snap. There will simply a tear along where you have to twist it. So be really careful. In this case, I deliberately shaved down the inside so that it's not actually as stiff as before, but now it's actually slightly loose, so it has a tendency of trying to come out. But as long as you push it in, it will be fine. See? But because that is a polycap, so his arm can actually rotate 360. It's double polycap in the sense that one polycap is that way, and then there is a pec joint which allows the arm to go up to the side. The shoulder armor is on similar to old style HG kit shoulder joint, so the shoulder armor joint, so it will move in and out by itself. There is a swivel just underneath the shoulder, and there is a elbow which allows you to bend up to only this much, so it's just less than 90 degrees. But once again, it's double polycaps, and this polycap has a little bit of a gimmick in the sense that it can extend slightly, which allows your elbow to go to exactly 90 degrees. Without that, it will be just around 85. The fist is on a polycap, as you can see here, and this one actually does click in, so it click in and it rotate and wiggle. The neck is actually double joint, one ball joint on the bottom and one ball joint at the head, so it can actually go do this thing. Excuse me, and it does rotate, so it's pretty good. The weapon titania is a giant mace, and I have modified a bit in the sense that I did not put all the parts in. I'm supposed to put this inside in order to fill it up and hide some of the unsightly joint on the inside, but I still have a feeling that it looks too heavy when I put this plastic in there and make it solid. I think it looks much better if it's actually hollow, and so it looks more like a professional weapon. The Emperor only comes with two holding things fist, and doesn't come with any spare hand like an open palm or anything. I believe some of the LBX kit does come with open palm, open hand, or a completely closed fist for different sort of pose. But for the Emperor, because his only weapon is this mace to titanium, meaning that it only needs the holding hand fist, so it only give him two of those, and that's it. In the assembly instruction is a cape. It's a paper cape, which you can actually roll to give it a bit of curve. It also got a hole and two stickers to actually strengthen it, and so that you can actually slip the head. You can slip this through. Okay, not easy. So the Emperor can have his cape. It's pretty effective, especially if you have nothing to do, nothing to actually replace it. But I think you have probably noticed these two things for quite a while actually. So let's talk about things that modification I've done to it. One thing that I doesn't like about the kit is that it comes with the stickers for the eyes, which is white, while the clear plastic is actually blue, which I thought the clear blue would be better. But so I thought that if I could actually make it shine, like i.e. by putting silver paint on the inside or put fluorescent paint on the inside, would be great. But at the end I couldn't, so I thought I will wire it with LED. Except I don't have any blue LED, so I put in a green LED. The battery is hidden in the body, and these two wires now effectively become connectors. So you can see his eye is lit up. That looks pretty good. In fact, it actually looks much better in the camera than in real life. Pretty proud of that. The other thing that I've did is, as I mentioned before, if you don't have any skill with fabric, you can definitely use a paper cape. But I thought that this cape looked a bit cheesy, so I've made something out of some scrap pieces of ribbon, silk ribbon, which add together looks reasonably well and become a red narrower cape. It is narrower than the paper cape, which spread out to the side. But instead of going for that more regal, more Emperor look, I make this red cape and deliberately roughen all the edges and deliberately try to tear it so that it looked more like a rogue, more barbaric feel, which I thought looks pretty good. So I've been working on quite a lot in this review already. So overall, what do I think? I really like the idea and really like the design of the LBX kit. So this one is definitely not going to be my last one. So this is basically it. If anyone is interested in the LBX kit, I think the Emperor is probably one of the best ones to start off with. So that's basically it for me. See you on the next review.